She could be any 12-year-old girl hanging out with her mom and sister. But Zoe was biologically born a boy.
I'm Kate Brooks. I'm a former TV reporter turned writer, producer, and filmmaker. I'm also a proud LGBTQ activist. I am fighting to ensure gender-affirming healthcare is both accessible and legal for my transgender daughter and other trans youth like her. Sorry, not sorry. So I gave birth in 2009. My husband and I did not have any sonograms to indicate what gender babies we were having. We had lots of tests and sonograms and ultrasounds, but we didn't know what we were giving birth to. When the babies came out, the doctor said first, it's a boy. Then the doctor said, it's another boy. My husband and I looked at each other and we thought, great, double bar mitzvah. Fast forward a bunch of years, and it turned out that one of our sons was not actually our son, but was indeed our daughter. So we had given birth to, we thought, Jacob Alexander and Gideon Andrew, sent out birth announcements indicating such. And over time, it became very apparent to me and my husband and one of my two kids, Gideon, that he was not Gideon, that he was in fact a she. And she is now a happy, healthy, rock star 14-year-old named Gabriella, or Gabby, and she's just a rock star.
And everyone else had these gender expectations for the babies. They come out. They were both assigned male at birth. How about your expectations? And did those expectations match the reality of the moment?
And then I absolutely fell into some of the quote unquote gender norms. When we planned their nursery, not knowing what the genders would be, we picked gender neutral colors. And still, once I thought boys, and I say that in quotes, were born, I didn't go out and get pink shirts for them. I generally either got neutral colors or blues and grays and colors that I was trained to think boys would wear. And even at that time, it was funny because Jacob seemed really calm and chill, and Gideon was just seemed like he was ready to take on the world and fight the world. And I even used to put him in more manly outfits. If I was given a shirt that said, I'm a heartbreaker, I'd put it on Gideon. If I was given a shirt that was a football or a baseball jersey, I'd put it on Gideon and give Jacob maybe the softer, kinder, gentler outfit. And haha, fooled me. It didn't turn out that way. After birthday parties, I think we're always really emotional for then Gideon. It's almost like, in retrospect, it seems to me that in his mind, whether he could verbalize this or not, it was another year and he was still trapped in the wrong body. So 1 year after his birthday party, climbing up into his bed because I was trying to leave the room that night. You're a mom, so you probably know sometimes you really just want to put them to bed and leave the room. But I got, Mom, come back. And okay, Gideon climbed up and they had just had an amazing birthday. And yet he was really sad. And he said to me, why don't my friends know me? And I said, what do you mean, kiddo? What do you mean your friends don't know you? And he said, my friends don't know me. Jacob got all the gifts he wanted today at the birthday party. And the only one who gave me a Barbie doll was Gila, his best friend, who absolutely knew everything that he liked. And I hemmed and hawed. I'm like, oh, but that doesn't mean they don't know you. And oh my gosh, parents, we buy in bulk and we just grab things for birthday parties and don't really personalize that. Yeah, but Jacob got everything he liked. And the real reason that Gideon didn't get the things that he liked is because when people asked me, and really, we're not into gifts. That's not the point. But when people asked me, I said, oh, they'll both be happy with anything. And the reality is I should have said Gideon likes princesses and Barbies and art supplies and everything you would think that a girl might like. And he says, Mommy, sometimes I wish I was a girl. And I said, Mommy and Daddy will love you, whether you're a boy or a girl or a bunny rabbit. And that answer seemed to be okay for him, and he fell asleep. And I'm thinking two things. One, I dodged a bullet because he didn't say, we can talk about the bullet later, didn't say I am a girl. Sometimes I wish I was a girl. And I'm thinking okay, sometimes I wish I'm a different person. But obviously, to me, that was a big sign about the path we were headed towards. I left the room, had a lot of soul searching to do, and poured myself a glass of wine, the equivalent of a Starbucks venti. It was emotional.
But when you say she hates being trans, it's because she has a penis.
Oh, yes. It's because still to some degree, parts of her outsides don't match her insides. Absolutely. But subsequent to the time I chronicle in the book, I stop writing the book when the kids are 9. Now that was a tween and now a teen, several things have happened. We went not only to a gender therapist, but also to the endocrinologist. And once puberty hit, she chose to be, and we confirmed this with her and her doctors, puberty blockers. Puberty blockers can pause puberty. They can't prevent you from having puberty or going through puberty. But once it starts, puberty blockers will pause puberty. And what does that mean? It means she wouldn't get the secondary sexual characteristics associated with someone assigned male at birth. She wouldn't get an Adam's apple. Her penis wouldn't grow larger. Her voice wouldn't get deeper. She wouldn't be any hairier on her upper lip than any Ashkenazi Jew would be. But secondarily, this indication has been approved for years now as a way to help trans youth pause puberty. And it can be very helpful for people who are indecisive. It buys them some time before they make a decision that is not irrevocable. And puberty blockers, once you go off them, should Gabriella have realized, oh my gosh, April Fools, I'm really still a boy. We knew that wouldn't happen. You can go off the puberty blockers and she would start to develop as a typical boy would. So it's not, quote unquote, doing anything that's irrevocable or can't be turned back. I will say that age 13, she started female hormones. Similarly, when it came time to starting hormone therapy, you have to go through another round of, hey, you got to go talk to the doctor, the endocrinologist. This is what these hormones are intended to do. These are some of the side effects. This is what will happen to your body. And hormones are irrevocable. These are changes that you can't turn back. Once you start taking hormones, those changes are going to stay. So a year after my daughter started taking hormones, even several months after, she started getting breast buds and she was super happy. She was really excited. She recently went to camp, and prior to going to camp, she had to get all new bras because a year into this, she's, oh my gosh, I'm a size B, and she's thrilled. And I often think of that movie, 16 Candles, where Molly Ringwald's grandparents come and stay at her house. They're like, oh my gosh, she's got her boobies. And the grandmother wants to touch them. I'm tempted, and I know that's not my place. I always thought the look was a little bit more androgynous as a kid. She's absolutely stunning now. She's taller than she would like. I'm now the runt of the family and I'm 5'7". Both twins are now towering over me. And, she wishes her feet were smaller. So neither the puberty blockers nor the hormones seem to stop her feet from growing. But one of the reasons she actually held out for the hormones was because taking hormones increases the rate at which your growth plates close and fully develop. So she wanted to eke out a few more inches or an inch or two before taking the hormones because she didn't want to be the runt of the family. So now I'm the runt of the family. So she's happy that she's getting curvier. She's happy that she has boobs. I will tell you, one of the things she does not like about being trans is she identifies as heterosexual. She likes boys, and she's not in the LGBTQ crowd, which is often a little bit more fluid. That crowd tends to be a little bit more fluid, and the crowd that she rolls with at the age of 14 isn't as fluid, and they're not the ones advocating on the front lines. To be blunt, for her and the guys that she is interested in, even at 14, boobs and a penis are not a big selling point.